Today, what did I do today? Nothing different, nothing out of the normal. All right, so I guess that's it. Bye. Kidding, I'm still here. Anyways, well, let me get comfortable right here so I can tell you all about what I did not do today. Today, I did not do tomorrow. Today, I did not do the day after tomorrow, which is like most people, I would hope. Listen to a webinar by Brendan Kane. He's the guy who wrote 1 million followers in 30 days. So now I got his other book. I forget what it's called, but it has to do with hooks. He explained it more as the idea of kind of comparing it to USPs, which are user selling points, like I guess you could say features of a product where it entices its audience in some way. But a hook is similar, but different in the sense that it's unique, or mostly unique to the product or service that you have. So I don't know, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to try to explain it to you. Most of it went over my head, but that's why I got the book, and I know it will be useful. But yeah, and going through the 1 million followers in 30 days, getting some stuff clarified. He basically goes into the importance of sharing, or the amount of shares matters more than the amount of likes and comments. Simply because as soon as someone shares a piece of content, then they essentially become your brand ambassador. In that sense, whenever they share your content, everyone who is following them, they know that they shared something new, something that is yours. So it's kind of like hiring people for free to do advertising for you, in a sense. So the amount of shares compared to the amount of likes is much more important, because shares can make it exponential, especially too, since that is the amount of exposure that you get is, again, different channels, or not channels, what's the word? Different points of entry for people to go into the sales funnel that you have. So I found that very interesting, and now trying to see a way how to actually use that. I haven't even gone through chapter 2 of the book, but I already learned quite a bit. He mostly talks about, so far, creating shareable content, in the sense that people don't really care what your product or service is, but they care what it does for them. And more so, they care if that product or service is framed in a way so that people can understand that that is the solution to the long-standing problem that they have. The larger the problem, the more expensive your product or service can be. And overall, just not necessarily solving problems, but at the same time selling a better version of themselves. So if you have a comedic video, then if people share your video, then they get to be perceived as someone who is funny. Similar with another kind of valuable content. As soon as they share it, they get to be perceived as valuable. And just about anything that you create, if people share it, then they get to be perceived as that one thing. So if you just create a piece of content that showcases the product, then if people share that, what does that make them look like? Nothing that they ever want to look like. So keeping that in mind, it's not so much the product sells, it's rather the experience of the emotion that it elicits in people. Because the more that it creates an emotion, the more that people can profit from that. And when people can profit, then they become valuable and become a better version of themselves. So in that sense, giving value in that way to people is probably the best way to get your content shared. So far, that's what I have understood from the book. But it makes sense to me, so why not use it? Something else I did today. Oh, I finished typing my notes for Instagame. Yes. It's been a long-standing project. Can't believe it took this long. But now I have an action guide. Got an Instagame manual. So, no, I'm not going to share it with you. Probably because of some legalities, or I don't know. Might not be a problem, but still, I just want it for myself. I am Mr. Greedy that way. Yeah. Finished that up. Read the Brendan Kane. And I feel like I did something else today. Maybe not. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah, see how you can implement that part about sharing, or about creating content that's shareable. If your main focus is on that, then there's always going to be people who want to share it. The more shareable that your content becomes, the more people share it. That's kind of ingrained in the sentence, isn't it? But yeah, I guess it's not really that easy to create that sort of content. But you're much better off to keep that in mind rather than not at all. So, yes, do that. I will go to sleep and